Those who are wondering, yes, I'm here. I just don't want to fucking talk. So the one time I don't have any fucking funds, this cunt has a shit ton of fucking rosemary. Really wish I could grab her and fucking force a goddamn poison potion or 20 down her fucking... Well, at least the fucking chat worked. Answer your question, no, I'm not okay. I have been suicidal since midnight last night when somebody decided to make a big deal and blow shit out of proportion and lie straight-faced to me and treat me like a fucking infantile reject of a fucking person that I am. So no, I'm not okay. Quite honestly, I don't want to be alive right now. Not just a bad day, Heather. Quite honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna recover from. I doubt it. Oxy, the phrase standing on the edge means I've been contemplating suicide. No worries, I'm not actually going to hurt myself, I just don't honestly want to be alive right now. I know that makes very little sense, but... Like I said, I'm not gonna hurt myself. I just don't want to be here. I know that doesn't make sense. But it's something I struggle with on a fairly regular basis due to a mental issue I have called complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So, you know how when soldiers come back from war, they're sometimes sick in the head? Well, I've been like that ever since my dad decided it was a good idea to rape me when I was 5. Or it could have been from the time I was shot. Or the time I was beaten. Or the time I was hospitalized by a bunch of people stomping on my rib cage because how dare a faggot exist? So, occasionally I just get to feeling like I don't want to be around. It's pretty much always temporary. The sickness, meanwhile, is not. So, there are some days where I'm okay, and then there's days like this, where something happened and I just can't function. One of the reasons why I haven't been talking too much is because my microphone's been off. Because I've been crying for the majority of the stream. Crying or yelling or... Regardless of how I feel, though, just know I'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Because while this is something I deal with on a regular basis, I also know what it's like to lose somebody to suicide. And that's not a pain I could inflict on anyone. That is not a pain I would ever want to inflict on anyone. That fact, though, doesn't stop it from hurting. And no, not really. There is almost no one who can cheer me up when I'm like this. And I'd say 2 people who can. One of them is just as bad off as me right now, and the other one, I haven't heard his voice in over a year.
Hey, Johnson. Like I said, Moxie, there's usually no one who can when I'm like this. It's not because it's impossible, it's not because it's just mental illness doesn't work like that sometimes. It's not just a issue with being sad. It's an issue with being broken. And I hate to point out, but I'm broken in a way that can never be fixed. I have lost loved ones because of it. I have lost friends because of it. I have lost family members because of it. And it's not something I can control, it's not something I can change. And it's not as simple as just cheering up. Because, see, one of the sides of me that most people don't see is the fact that I can't stand myself. Where everybody else would be thinking happy thoughts, I'm usually thinking the world would be better off without me, or I'm not worth the energy to try to help. Oh, trust me, I know. But it's not the rational side of my brain that tells me things like that. It's because when I was a little kid, I was hurt a lot. I was repeatedly told I was a worthless waste of flesh. Repeatedly told and reminded and had it literally beaten into my head that I would never amount to anything in life. And that every breath I take is a fucking curse on the world. Scars like that, just, they don't heal. Especially when the one doing it was somebody who was supposed to love you unconditionally. Kinda wishing the weed I had bought this time around wasn't indica. I could use a laugh right. Well, I could use anything right now. Oh. Sorry about bumping the microphone, and thank you. I know you guys are gonna be here for me no matter what. Just... sometimes I can't help feeling like this. Hey Moxie, it would be lovely if I could advance through it, through the pain, but that's the problem. Let's put it this way. All of these things I'm talking about, think of everything that I've said, every reason why, as a cut. All of the ones that still hurt, they're not fresh. They have been scars for years, but I can still feel them like they're brand new. I can remember how I got them like it was yesterday. And the worst part is, it can be the smallest thing. It can be the most insignificant thing in the world that sets me off. And when it happens, I can be like this for days. There have been times where I was like this for months. And every time I remember when I got those scars, it's like I'm reliving it again. By the way, I know you guys have noticed I tend to smoke a lot of weed. There's a reason for that too. I don't do it to feel good. I don't do it to relax. I do it so I can Sometimes it's the only way I can stop hurting. And the worst part about all of this is, at this point, I don't think the people who have triggered this issue this time care. So the person who caused tonight's issues, they will never see me as anything but a broken child. And they treat me that way constantly. Never listen to what I say. Hell, there have been times I've literally had to beg them to stop hurting me. And in some ways, I don't think they realize they're doing it. Thank you, Moxie. Oh. Oh, trust me. I know I'm strong. I've lived a life that would have put most people into a grave. But sometimes strength doesn't really have anything to do with it. You got bullied, Johnson? That absolutely sucks. But you know what? If there's somebody bullying you, just remember. Hurt people hurt people. The reason why they bully you is probably because somebody else is bullying them in their own home. And Moxie, do I not feel any rage? I mean, I feel rage constantly. I feel hatred constantly. Mostly because I'm always mad at myself for well, mostly because I'm mad at myself. My entire life I've wanted nothing more than to be normal. And I will never be normal. Someone stole the life I should have had when I was a child. Somebody did something to me that made it impossible for me to be anything more than a broken monster. I can't express half of the emotions I feel half of the time, because if I did, they would lock me away. And I know this because they have before. Understand, just me talking the way I've been talking tonight, openly, like this, means I'm at risk for being imprisoned. I shit you not, just talking about this sometimes puts me at risk of being locked away and told that I'm a broken thing that needs fixing. Only problem is, I'm missing a few pieces, I guess. I'm like a puzzle that doesn't have all its pieces. And honestly, Ramon, money wouldn't help. Thank you for the offer, though, but no. So, weirdly speaking of money, odd truth, but do you know why it took me so long to do things like create a Patreon or allow super chats or even consider like channel memberships or anything like that? It's because I don't like the idea of taking other people's money. I honestly don't feel like I'm worth enough for anyone to be willing to do that for me. But, I mean, I don't know. Just, I shit you not, it's one of the reasons why I don't really like promote the fact that super chats are set up, or I don't really, until like the last couple years, I didn't even promote the Patreon page because it feels weird to me. It's also one of the reasons why I stopped making content exclusively for patrons. Again, it just feels weird to me. I don't like the idea of people thinking they have to pay me to be near me or to interact with me. Moxie, the reason why... Like, the reason why... Well, God. My microphone apparently is being an asshole. Hold on. The reason why I say things like I actively hate myself is because when I was younger, again, I was pretty much taught that I was only worthy of being hated. I mean, for crying out loud, I had brothers who literally tried to fucking drown me. Oh. Thank you, Johnson. And thank you, Moxie. And thank you, just all of you. Thank you for being here. Oh. I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh. Moxie, everyone struggles. In fact, quite honestly, it's the people who claim that they never do that I would straight up call liars. Not Roxy, Moxie, I wasn't so much choking as coughing. I just took a hit of weed. And weed is very much an irritant, so it makes you cough.
By the way, I know you guys are probably wondering why I'm just sitting here selling potions rather than continuing to work on the Rubido down here. And it's because I need to get this right here up to level 12. Doesn't really help though when I'm trying to make potions, or not make potions, trying to sell potions and people keep asking for ones that I don't have and don't readily have the means to make. That's cute. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, while I am a fox aardwolf hybrid as a furry, what do you guys think my favorite animal is? And Aiden, you don't get to say, because you already know it. Oh, and yeah, I'll make it a little simpler, because it's neither foxes nor hyenas of any kind. Like, they're beautiful animals, don't get me wrong. Not my favorite animal. They're just... The reason I am a fox aardwolf hybrid is because they're the ones that represent me best. I'm usually a shy, sly, odd little thing that likes to eat weird food and laugh. No worries, Dylan. I know you're here. Snakes are absolutely adorable, but no. I'll give you guys another hint. As a furry, this one should blow it completely out of the fucking water. But I'm a very simple person. It's nothing exotic. It's nothing... I'd say even really as grand as a fox in most ways. Like, most people would think fox because it's something pretty new. In the furry fandom, if I were to have made my fursona my favorite animal, would have been one of the bare bones basic bitches out there. And we need to get you another snack at some point. And Nexus. Oh. Bingo. Wolves. Wolves are absolutely my favorite animal. And I know a lot of people go, hey, the whole alpha and whatnot shit and all that is, like, not real. I know. I've worked with wolves in the past. There's a reason I have a fondness for them, is because I straight up have worked with them in the past. Like, I shit you not, I worked with a guy who owned a 30-acre plot of land that was gated in with fucking 30-foot reinforced fencing. The reason being was because it was a refuge for endangered wolves. And yeah, ball pythons are just absolutely adorable. And they wind up getting all of the boops. Yep. When I was like 18 or 19, I worked with a guy who owned effectively a wolf enclosure, a wolf reserve. And yeah. They can be pretty intense creatures. By the way, if you're thinking that a dog is just like a beefed up husky, oh hell no. Those fuckers are huge. Like, they would make an Akita look small. Most people don't actually understand how big wolves are physically. But I'll tell you this, there are pictures of me from when I was younger, sitting next to a wolf, and this thing was taller than me while sitting down. When I say it was taller than me sitting down, it was sitting on a slightly raised rock. It was taller than me when it was sitting down and I was standing up. By the way, fair warning, Nexus, just to give you a heads up, if you do join tonight, just understand I'm not currently okay. And before it comes up, don't want to talk about it either. Hello. I mean, I've gotten the chance to hug a wolf. Again, they're weirdly gentle creatures, but at the same time, they are absolutely terrifying. But yeah, no. Yeah. How are you doing? Better than me, I'm assuming.
Yeah, all things considered, it was a rough day, but...
I mean... Did you sleep last night?
It's the only reason I wasn't here. My sister went to the hospital last night,
Oof.
so... It was just one of those things.
Yeah. I'm hoping she's okay, at very least.
Yeah, she's back now. She's on, well, quote-unquote, house arrest, if you will.
Did she get injured, or did she wind up sick?
She has a cyst. Uh, it was very close to the point where they would have had to perform surgery to fix it.
Yeah. Oh, snuggles for the Andy. Ooh, earthstones. Well, yay. Also, hey Nexus, apparently your sister's got some people from the chat praying for her already.
Oh, well, thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Limbs for the Delint. Oh. Honestly, Andy, no, but I will be. You know what's really bad? The haggle on this dude's potion was images of mountains, rivers, and trees. He wants a potion for, you know, helping in the bedroom. Only thing I could think of while I was haggling with that dude is, now listen here, if you use this properly, you'll have your dick harder than one of the mighty oaks and you'll be coming rivers. The mountains themselves will part before your majesty. That'll be 1,000 gold.
I'm sorry, but that's funny. Like, that is genuinely hilarious.
Apparently explosives are popular lately.
Who doesn't like a big bang?
Lock on my front door stuck. Explosive. That's kind of the weird thing. Hey, Moxie. I don't doubt one day you'll get back to that point of being invincible. And maybe someday I'll meet you there. But, where furry pride is concerned, I won't really explain too terribly much of why. I'm not proud of being a furry. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the fandom, I love the people in it. But at the same time, our community has shown how ugly it can be, and that's not something to be proud of. So, it's one of those yikes. And then again, that's been the whole damn world recently. Don't worry, lady, shove this up your nose and you'll become the most mean and vicious, nasty person you will ever become. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. I love the fandom, I love the people in it. I love all of the good we as a community do. But being proud of something kinda goes hand in hand with being okay with it. And with the number of people claiming to be furries that I have seen, doing things like driving people to suicide or encouraging hate, or hell, just straight up being racist fuckers. Because I hate to point this out, there are a lot of fucking racists in the fandom. They're not the ones that most people think either. Because I have heard some of the most racist shit come out of people that the community would call heroes. Worst part is, most people don't see it as racism because can't be racist against white people. So, I find it hard to be proud when no one's really addressing that problem. When no one's really addressing the fact that there are so many vitriolic, hateful people. Or the fact that we as a community have effectively adopted and started attacking each other with the lies and fucking slander that we had to suffer from the outside world back in the 90s and 2000s. Oh, and for what it's worth, I've been a furry a very long time. The majority of my life I have been part of the fandom. I actually remember seeing some minor advertisements back when I was a kid for one of the first conventions ever on the West Coast. Well, correction, maybe not one of the first conventions ever. One of the first standalone conventions. So, yeah, I love the fandom, love the community. We have some hateful little fuckers to address. Once that's a thing, once we can have a conversation about that, without people immediately getting defensive or assuming the worst, then maybe I can start being a little more proud of this community. But until that happens, think of me as the disappointed old fucking man staring out at the world going, what the fuck are you guys doing? Oh, well, thank you, Andy. However, question. Are you planning to go to BLFC, Andy? If you are, did you know there is a tar meet and greet at just about every convention in the US? Run by a very, very, interesting black and purple wolf tar. Aw. Poor thing. And yeah, that's been the sentiment with BLFC for a lot of people. And quite honestly, I'll say I hate the fact that they fucking moved it to a week. It was the stupidest thing they could ever fucking do. But it is entirely because a particular individual took over as, like, one of the higher-ups in the convention staff and decided to suddenly make sweeping fucking changes and try to turn BLFC and PawCon into a, like, week and a half long dual convention thing. And I hate to point it out, but as much as that sounds amazing, that means BLFC's owners, like the people who run it, are fairly exclusively pandering to the super rich. Because very few actual people in the community could afford 2 cons back to back over the span of, like, I think it's 11 days. That's $1,000 minimum on a room for a week at one con, and then nearly $2,000 for a room for the rest for the weekend for the next con. That alone is $3,000 just to be there. Then another $140 and I believe $160 to attend. And then you've got to take into account things like travel and what have you, and it's just, it feels like the con chairs, or not so much chairs, but the people who are running it are trying to pander to the ultra wealthy in the community and effectively telling all of the working furries to go fuck themselves. really sucks too, because I absolutely love BLFC, one of my favorite cons. It's the one I literally save up all year to be able to go to. Because of the choice they've made, 90% of the people I go there to spend time with can't show up. And the ones that do, they're not really... I can't find any common ground with people, really, who their only real worry in life is, where am I going to get my next $12,000 car part? Or when am I going to get it? Because that seems to be a lot of the people that wind up showing up to these kind of cons now that are just straight up pandering to the rich. Which is kind of funny because when this dude took over, the con suddenly has this weird issue now with the artists that straight up, or at least it seems like they do. But it seems like they've had, ever since he took over, issues with the artists at their, like, art gallery or their, market have been remarkably mistreated ever since this dude took over. On top of that, they have such a righteous shortage of staff that they've been advertising, hey, we need volunteers fucking every 2 days for the last 6 months. Hell, 2 years ago, they didn't even have enough volunteers to properly keep the, what are they called? Elevators running properly. Honestly, I wish they would change it back to the fucking original date they had. Because I'm sorry, putting it in October? That was a stupid fuck up right there. But I can understand why it originally happened. Well, why the fuck did we keep it going? Because I have a feeling it's because the person who runs it is getting paid to do it that way. Here's hoping that they'll actually listen to the people who go there, though. But chances are they're not going to. Really hate that that's a fact, but chances of them listening to the people who want to go to the con but can't fucking afford the way they're currently running it, I don't think they care about those people. Or more accurately, I don't think the people who have taken, like, control of it care about those people. You don't need a potion of luck, you need to be able to fucking remember.
I just realized I was muted.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, wooga.
My behind hurts, I have no idea why. Dude, you should probably, use more lube. Anyways.
I think this is where I'm gonna leave off for tonight. So, if you enjoy the gameplay or the commentary, give us a like. If you want to keep up with this or any of our other content, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Become part of our notification squad so you can see when we upload and when we go live. But for now, this is Kitthesoulless and crew signing off. So until next time, everybody. Bye-bye. And don't worry, Moxie. We'll be back tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh. I'll tell you, it feels like there's something in the fucking air, by the way.
Tell me about it. I just almost... let's put it this way, I am currently actively looking for another job.
Good boy. I'm assuming they finally didn't fix their shit quick enough.
I walked in there because I was off the past 2 days and nothing was restocked or done. When I walked in there,
That's
I looked at my
walkout.
boss. I literally looked at my boss and told her to give me one reason as to why I shouldn't walk out of this store right now. She looked at me, put her head down, said, I don't have a reason. The only reason I stayed, my cousin actually calmed me down before I did anything too rash. I figured, if today is my last day, work the hours, get the money for the paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, shit. For what it's worth, Rick, Avia, and several other people I know have all had weirdly similar horrible fucking weeks, or horrible fucking weekends, or horrible fucking months.
Shit.
Yeah, and I feel like there's something in the air.
There has to be. I'm sorry, that's more than coincidence.
I mean, it's probably the stress of having so many hundreds of thousands of people proving that they're vitriolic, hateful, fucking bigoted shit fucks. And everyone else just kinda going, why is any of this? Why do we have to put up with this? In your case, why do I have to put up with fucking coming into work with nothing done? In my case, why the fuck do I have to accept being treated like I'm a fucking retard? Or a worthless child? Hell, I know one guy who was straight up walking down the road when I was walking to the gas station earlier today to get a fucking energy drink, who apparently was having a shitty day because his wife had just beat the ever-loving shit out of him, and his question was, why do I have to deal with a violent cunt?
Jesus fuck.
It seems
I mean,
like
accurate, but
everyone's had that
Jesus.
problem. Like, it seems like it is a